Hello, everyone! So today, we're going to take a look at the Transformers Studio Series Age of Extinction KSI Widow. So this is a concept art for KSI Widow for the movie Age of Extinction, and of course, as usual, let's look at the box. So up front, we have here KSI Widow in her robot mode, her alt mode, which is a licensed McLaren MP412C. It shows 17 steps, Age of Extinction, KSI Widow, and I got this from Toys R Us, although I honestly don't remember getting this from Toys R Us. Apparently I got it from Toys R Us, because I got this for a couple of weeks now. But anyway, here she is, a bigger photo of her on the side. At the back, we have here in her robot mode, her alt mode, which is again a licensed McLaren. And I mentioned this multiple times before, for Studio Series boxes, they show a scene from the movie or game in which they come from, but since this is a concept art which never appeared on the film, they only have the logo for Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. But it still has a text right here. KSI Widow is a drone controlled by Galvatron. So I don't know much about her concept, like how she would have appeared in the movie, but I guess I know she's a Decepticon, and I guess she would have been similar to Galvatron, and I forgot the name of the other bot that looks like Bumblebee, which they like they're, what do you call this? They turn into small mechanical parts and then transform. They don't necessarily transform, it's like they're parts formers. But anyway, that's the box, and let's look at KSI Widow. Now, I've seen a lot of good reviews on this, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of live action figures. If you guys see my videos, more of it are like G1 related figures or cartoon version of figures. But this figure alone, I honestly had low expectations for this, even though I've seen a lot of good reviews. But this might make me reconsider about collecting live action figures, not because of her robot mode. I think her robot mode is clean. As you can see, it's very clean, very minimal kibble, and it looks very Bayversy, especially the face. It looks humanoid but also like robot, like Transformers face, similar to Optimus Prime's and the others. What I don't like about this is the fact that most of it is our ball joint. So there's a ball joint right here, and even her shoulders are on ball joints, which I know will eventually loosen. And her articulation is not that great. Now, speaking of articulation, of course, I'll show you the articulation. The head can move a little bit down, up, and of course to the side, it can wiggle like that. The shoulders, you can kind of move the shoulder pads. Shoulders, since it's a ball joint, can move the full 360, move to the sides that much. There is a bicep swivel, and there is a 90-degree elbow bend, but that's just it. No wrist swivel at all, and no waist swivel, which is really unfortunate. The legs, since they're on a ball joint, can kick only sideways that far, but can kick forwards really far. Look at that. And backwards, of course, they can kick all the way right there. Since it is again on a ball joint, they have, or no, they have a mushroom peg on the thighs. It can, there's a swivel, thigh swivel. Sorry, my mind went blank right there. The knees can bend very slightly, but if you do mistransform it, the knees can bend a little bit better. So that's because of transformation. And unfortunately, there is no ankle pivot. So that's probably one of the main reasons why I had very low expectations of this figure. But I don't know. Ever since I got this probably a month ago now, or maybe a couple of weeks, at least 3 weeks ago, and she's actually really fun to mess around with. I can't explain it. She's not that, well, she is very flexible and kind of posable despite her limitations, but there's something about her. She feels good to the hand, and she's a really good desk toy to play around with. She's not like some of the figures that I have, like probably the Primes or even Amalgamus Prime, and especially, which I immediately put on my display case. This is quite playable, and she also comes with two blasters as accessories, which are very Bayversy because they don't peg in the hand, so they cannot be used by any other transformer. but they actually slide into the sides of the forearms. So just now, I always have a hard time plugging this in, but there you go. So they plug in like that. You can do both of them as well, since there's really not much place to put them. So just like that, and it looks awesome. It looks like they transformed out of her hands, which really looks cool. And yeah, weapon storage as well is really good, which I'll show in the transformation video next on my next post. So let's do some quick size comparisons. Now, as I've mentioned, I don't have a lot of live action figures, and I've also don't have any Age of Extinction figures to be particular. I've sold off my Studio Series Age of Extinction Optimus Prime, and I kind of regret it, to be honest, because I'm liking KSI Widow, and now I'm trying my best to stop myself from collecting live action figures, but I might cave in soon. But anyway, here's the scaling. I have the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime right here, and the Bioway version of Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime, which is Dark of the Moon. Both of them are Dark of the Moon. And as you can see, KSI Widow scales really well with them. And just for some generic size comparisons, I have here the SS86 Megatron and Bumblebee, which KSI Widow still scales really well, although she looks kind of different from them. Now here we have KSI Widow in her alt mode, which is a licensed McLaren MP412C, if I got that correctly. And here's a picture of the actual car. So as you can see, it's very, very accurate to the real life McLaren that it's actually known for, or it was used or modeled after. Sorry. And closer look at this alt mode, it's really beautiful, it's really clean, and it even has the McLaren logo right there at the back. Really clean alt mode, very, very beautiful. And I like the fact that the windows are kind of tinted plastic, not the clear plastic that I used to have a Bumblebee figure before. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not a Studio Series figure, but it had clear plastic, and you can clearly see the insides of it, and it's not beautiful since you can see the robot parts inside. Now, I like it that it's tinted because it somehow hides the inside of the robot parts. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not a big fan of live action figures, but because of this alt mode and this figure in general, it's making me reconsider my stance on live action figures. So it might be a start. Who knows? So for size comparisons, I only have a couple of live action figures, and most of them are third party. And I actually only have two car modes, or at least vehicle modes. I have the Byway version of the Studio Series 32, I think, which is the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, and the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime. I'm not sure what number that is, but as you can see, she scales really well with both of them, and they look really good together, especially this Rosenbauer fire truck, because it looks like a real truck or real fire truck. This kind of looks weird. It doesn't look very accurate to the actual truck model because of the colorway, in my opinion. But these two, they look really good together. And for some general size comparison, I have here SS86 Optimus Prime and SS86 Bumblebee. So final thoughts on the Studio Series Age of Extinction KSI Widow. Now again, I had very low expectations for this figure. Again, since I'm not a big fan of live action figures, but this is a really fun toy to mess around with. She's been on my desk for a while now, almost a month, more or less. And I have very few figures who stayed in my desk for that long, and because her transformation is well involved, but not that difficult. It's really fun to do. She's really fun to pose, even though she has ball joints everywhere, which I don't like, specifically me. But I don't know. There's something about her, and it's just something that you have to experience for you to like get it. So it's kind of hard to explain. At least for me, it's kind of hard for me to explain. If I would suggest this figure, yes, I definitely suggest you guys try and take a look at this figure, and hope you guys enjoy it as well. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe if you do. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.